Hi guys, welcome back to Hair Dry Treatment with me. So obviously a lot of United fans are waiting for the Bruno transfer to be announced, and it's not been announced just yet. I did my last video where I felt super confident it was going to happen, and I have to say, because of the amount of time that it's taken, I'm feeling less and less confident now. I really am. I'm not sure what takes us so long as a club, to be honest, to actually complete a transfer. I'm not sure what's holding people up. Apparently, we're far off in terms of price, in terms of the costing for Bruno Fernandez. Apparently, that's what Sky Sports have said today. Maybe that is why he's holding up the deal. A lot of people now are tweeting me saying, Sophie, do you think it's really going to happen? A lot of people are now dropping that confidence and saying, you know what, it's not going to happen. Chris says, doesn't look like he's going to sign now, unfortunately. Emily says, are you okay? I'm very well, thank you, Emily. Literally just got in from work, hence the formal attire. Looking like I'm about to seal this Bruno deal. Jawad says, is he not coming? If I'm honest, I'm not going to say he's not coming. I am concerned about the amount of time it's taking. But Ryan Red Devil is new. Thank you, Ryan, for subscribing. Appreciate it. But I must say it's not looking very likely at the moment, is it? Apparently, Koulibaly is another player that we've been linked with. Apparently, it's in the pipeline. I don't believe those rumours, if I'm honest. However, I would be over the moon with that, but I don't think that's going to happen. Ed Wood would have seen apparently going to Paris today, so he's not in London for the Bruno deal. Apparently, talks were taking. But the last video, I was so confident. I was like, you know what, I think I even said I'm 70% that Bruno is coming, and now I'm definitely not 70%. The amount of time that it's taken, rumours are he wants to come to United, and if we are, I'll just say what Jim said there, if we are squabbing over a couple of quid, then obviously that is infuriating, but we don't know, obviously, that they could be asking for ridiculous money for Bruno. We don't know the situation. However, it is frustrating that a club like United, yet again, is coming unstuck when it comes to transfers, and again, Wood was under pressure. If this deal doesn't go through now, I think they'll be absolute outraged, because we've even had Fabrizio teasing us, replying to Man United's tweets with a little smug face. We've had fans obviously going on about Bruno for a while now, and now it seemed likely, the bits that were being leaked out to the press and whatever, it was feeding us positives that it was going to happen, and if all of a sudden it doesn't happen now, then I fear for Ed Woodward, because I think there's going to be a backlash. I think the fans are going to go crazy. But I'm also concerned at the fact that this transfer window, we need to invest, and we need to invest in a lot of positions. And at the minute, I feel like a lot of our time and a lot of our efforts are going into this Bruno deal, which may not even happen anyway. I just hope that we don't miss out on any other players that are possible in this window, because we're all under the illusion. We all know that we need to transfer. None of us are saying, oh, you know what, we only need a central midfielder and that's that done. There's a lot of positions that we need to strengthen. We need more squad depth. And I think if we're focusing and putting all our eggs in one basket, which ultimately looks like it could fall through, then we're going to be come unstuck again. And I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the board really not being able to, one, attract players, but two, just get simple business done. You know, if a player wants to come to Manchester United, we shouldn't be struggling to try and attract him. We should that should have been done and dusted by now. And like I say, we're not behind the scenes. We don't know what's holding the deal. But if it is penny pinching or whatever we're doing, then I'm sorry, but we have to get so frustrated with it as fans, because we're all watching us fall further and further behind. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Matt says if we don't sign anyone in this window, we can forget top four, definitely. Mr. Arsenal podcast, why are United suddenly after throwing money at the trouble there are suddenly doing an Arsenal and penny pinching? Yeah, Man United and Arsenal, we can definitely relate. Both clubs at the moment, boards coming under a lot of scrutiny, struggling to attract players, not good enough, struggling in the league. I agree, I think there's similarities. Obviously, the other player that I want to talk about is Chong. Apparently, Chong is going to Inter Milan. Rumours today that they're in talks for Inter Milan for that deal to happen. Chong has been getting a little more game time of late. I don't know how I feel about that one. I would rather see Chong go out on loan, to be honest with you, rather than sell him. I'd rather him go out on loan, get some first team football. We can see him more consistently playing at a decent level, and that's what I would rather happen with Chong. I don't want us to just sell him, because that can come round and bite us on the bum. Look what happened with Pogba. I would be more gutted if we lost Gomez over Chong, and I've said that before. However, I still think just selling him, I think, is a bit harsh. I would rather see him on loan somewhere. So in terms of the Inter Milan talks, I'm undecided. On one hand, it could be that Chong wants to play first team football. That's the move that he wants. But like I say, I would rather it be a loan deal than him going out permanently, to be honest, because it could go round and bite us. It really could. I think he's shown in flashes that he's got potential. It's shown that he has got some talent, but he hasn't done it consistently. Sometimes I think he looks a bit lightweight, but I do think that with a run of games, we'll be able to judge him more accurately. We haven't seen that with Chong. So personally, it's a different one. I'd rather him go out on loan. However, his contract obviously is due to come up apparently in the summer. So then you're looking at the fact that he could go for nothing and then we could lose out. So it's all about what Chong wants. If he wants to play regular football, then kind of we're in no situation to argue he's going to end up going. So the club will be thinking, let's get some money for him in January. After the misery I felt about Thiago 6 years ago, I've learned never to buy into transfer moves until they really happen. I completely agree with that. I think that if you... The amount of times that United are mentioned, because it sells stories, it sells newspapers, when you say that Manchester United are in talks or interested in this player, for example, it attracts people. It means that if there's a slowdown, for example, if not much is happening, the Sky Sports all of a sudden put Manchester United's name on there, being linked to a player, then all of a sudden it becomes an attractive option. So that's what happens. And us United fans, of course, it's natural. We get excited and we get sucked in. I've learnt recently not to do that so much because we've been let down as a club so many times. I have no faith in Woodward, if I'm totally honest with you, which is why I said even if Bruno Fernandez does get over the line and we do end up with him in January, it's a fantastic signing, but for me it still doesn't correct everything that Woodward has done in the past. We should have got Fernandez, in my opinion, in the summer when it looked more likely to happen, and now we're possibly going to be paying more in January because the time we're trying to get him. For me, that is, yes, it would be a good deal if we get him, but it should have happened in the summer. So even though it would be good that Woodward is getting a player who we all want, for me, he's still incapable to do his job. I still don't fully trust him, and that's why I never get sucked into transfers anymore, to be honest with you. Cal Norman says, just started watching Soap, what's the U-turn? So apparently today, I've read it, I think it was on Sky Sports, it says that Manchester United are still nowhere near the asking price for Bruno Fernandez. So it's looking like the two clubs are still quite a way apart in agreeing a deal for him. The other day, everyone seemed adamant that it was happening, including myself, and now I'm feeling less and less confident. And I think the time that it's taking for this deal to happen is concerning. They say no news is good news, and I'm hoping that is the case. And like I say, we don't see what happens behind the scenes. We don't fully know what's happening, but the stuff that we're reading at the moment is concerning. And we've even got people teasing the club, replying to the club's tweets with smug faces, mugging us fans off right now. And it's because we all get sucked in. Naturally we do, and I'm trying to hold back. Cal says we must get it done. Exactly, Cal, I completely agree. We've got a game tomorrow, so I can't see anything really happening tomorrow. It's interesting. Jared says it's like 5 million apart. They're the rumours. Madison would never come here. Madison I would love, but in January definitely no. For me in future maybe, but we need to get back up to Champions League football, and we're far from that at the minute. Good evening, Soph. I think Sporting wants 60 million while United are willing to pay 50 million. We're still a bit off, but can we afford to be penny pinching right now, really, as a club? And we've let ourselves get into that situation. People know that we're desperate. It's January. People know that we are absolutely desperate to sign players because of our poor season so far, the poor quality of squad we've got. So people are going to come and sting us, which is why I blame Ed Woodward. So much should have been happening earlier. But also, I think we forget that we have actually spent money in the past. We have spent money the last few seasons, but has our recruitment been good enough? If you look at the likes of Wolves, the likes of Leicester, the likes of signings that they have made compared to us, you have to worry about where our money is going, and that's where obviously scouting system, recruitment, everything needs to be looked at. It's not just Ed Woodward, but obviously he's the main part of it. It's just so, I got my hopes up so much for Fernandez, and now I'm not feeling as likely. And of course, I hope I'm wrong. Of course, I hope that we do pay the difference. Money is drying up. It's concerning. Apparently we can do things that other clubs can't dream of, or can only dream of, sorry. Doesn't look that way at the moment. It's more of a nightmare, isn't it? If Bruno doesn't come, it will send a bad message. No big player will want to come to United playing under Ollie. You know, that's what I mean. I think if he doesn't come, after what's been happening lately, I think you have to say it's not looking good for Ed Woodward. There will be a backlash because a lot of people have got their hopes up for this deal, and like I say, stuff is being fed to us as fans where they're getting our hopes up, and then all of a sudden if it doesn't happen, we're just going to be more and more frustrated, and we're already very frustrated. We've already said how toxic the club is at the moment from top to bottom. This is only going to add to that. And I know I sound like a spoilt brat or a spoilt kid, and a lot of United fans, we are spoilt, and I'll openly admit that, and we have been spoilt over the years. But I think if the club is falling further and further behind and at the rate that it is doing at the moment, you've only got to look at our record over the last few seasons, then it is massively concerning, and something needs to change. Something needs to change, and needs to change soon. And obviously the anti-Woodward Glazer chance at the weekend, that was a positive for me. That shows that more and more people are locking onto this, and more people are noticing that change needs to happen. Change really does need to happen. And all this hate against fan channels and all that, that's just showing that it's toxic. And we all need to be honest. We all support the same team, and for me, we all need to be on the same side, and we all need to direct that anger and that passion elsewhere, and we all know where it needs to go. But like I say, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping that it's not true that we're not going to pay the asking price for him. But at the same time, we could be absolutely being ripped off, and I get that. But is that not our own fault for leaving it until the January transfer window, then when this deal could have been done in the summer? I do think it is. People know that we are desperate now. We are United. We're struggling in the league. We're struggling. We're not going to get top 4 at this rate. So people know that we've got to we've got to fork some money out. We've got to pay the money. I'm praying that we get the deal done. But I'm not feeling confident. Guys, yeah, I'm dressed like I'm about to go and seal that deal for Bruno Fernandez. Now, I've just got back from work, hence the suit, hence the formal attire, hence the hairdo. But, yeah, obviously I finished work today, and I was thinking, you know what it is today? I haven't really had a chance to look at my phone. Finished work, had a little look on Twitter, thinking, has it been confirmed? I was expecting there to be some news. And the only news that I find is that apparently United aren't willing to pay that price. So, yeah. Not feeling overly confident, nowhere near as confident as I was the other day, to be honest with you. The Koulibaly rumours, I don't agree. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's, again, just trying to get us to cling on to a bit of hope that something big is going to happen in this window. I'm hoping I'm wrong on Bruno. I hope it does happen. But, God, I'm sick of reading rumours. I really am. And in terms of Chong, I would rather him go out on loan. But with the contract situation and it being up fairly soon, then, of course, you have to understand from a business point of view of the club, then it'd be better for us to get something for him than nothing. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite us later on in his career, to be honest with you. Why haven't I been on the United stand for a while? I haven't been asked to go on the United stand for a while. I speak to Mark sometimes, and I'm obviously always willing to go on the United stand, and I'm grateful for every opportunity that I've had on there. But of course they've got their own shows and their own guests on there all the time, so when I'm asked, I'm ready and I'm willing to go on there. And I'm supporting everything that United Stand does, but I just haven't been asked to go on there, to be honest. There's no issues or anything like that. Turbo Warrior, one thing I'm so happy about is Young declining his new contract. I think that's harsh. I think Young has had a very good United career. I think we all know that he's past it. He's cost us a lot of goals, but he's a right winger at heart. We converted him into a right back. We don't know what he's been offered in this new contract deal. We don't know. They could have offered him £25 a week, for example. We don't know that. So I'm not going to sit in and slag him off and slate him for his decision. I think it's a good move for him to go to Inter Milan at the end of the season. Only Cage says I talk a lot. My husband must suffer. Do you want me to sit and just stare at the camera? That's what you have a YouTube channel for. Do you want to just watch my paint dry? I'm not sure what you want me to do, mate. But yeah, I hope that this Chong deal is a loan. If not, then I do understand it from a business point of view. Valverde Ian says Troy, it's an interesting one, obviously him no longer being Barcelona. Paul says congrats on a 21-0 win. Yeah, I want to talk about this 21-0 win. So my team won 21-0 over the weekend. I did score 2. I was gutted not to get a hat-trick, I'll add that. But this just highlights for me the standard in women's football. Like, I'm playing for Kidderminster Harriers, a well-known team, and we played bottom of the league. We beat them 21-0. That's exactly everything that is wrong. And fair play to the team that I played. I mean, they kept battling, trying. But nobody wants to turn up on a Sunday for a hobby that you enjoy doing and getting battered 21-0. And the league needs a massive shake-up. You know, it's grassroots level women's football. It massively needs changing. Obviously, internationally, in the Women's Super League, I think the standards are much higher, but I think grassroots, something massively needs to change because it's demoralising for them. At the same time, it's the worst game I've ever played in my entire life, literally the worst game. It was like when you're playing FIFA and you're playing online and the other person isn't there. So the game's going ahead, but they're not playing, they're not behind the controller, they're going to make a cup of tea or something. That's what it felt like playing in that game. It's so one-sided, it was horrible. I get I sound harsh, but let's be serious. He's had a number of seasons to prove himself, and he just has not. Yeah, I think if Chong gets a run of games, then he could prove us wrong. I think last few games he has played, I think he showed glimpses what he has got, but we need to see him more consistently. Matt Johnson says I could easily do a whole video talking about what needs to change in women's football in terms of the FA. I'd agree with that completely. At grassroots level, there needs to be massive changes. Do you prefer James or Greenwood more? Depends on the opposition. Depends who you're playing against. I think if it's a more open game, then you play. I think Greenwood. If you're playing against a team where you're going to be a counter-attacking side, then I think you play James, where obviously you're trying to break at speed. And James has shown many times, some of his assists for Rashford's goals, for example, that when he's playing on the counter-attack, I think he can be very effective. But in terms of everything, technical ability, first touch, movement, intelligence on the ball, goal scoring, you have to say Greenwood edges that. So I think it does depend on the opposition. Greenwood has to pip it though. He has to pip it. Someone just asked how old I am. I know my hair is whitish grey, but I'm actually 27. This is what this new job at Man United are doing to me at the minute. But yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I did say I want to try and make some videos like this on some breaking news. I was going to do it today at work. I didn't quite get a chance. Busy day today, which is why I'm doing it right now. Fingers crossed I'm wrong on Bruno. Fingers crossed that the deal does happen. Massive game tomorrow against Wolves. I'm going to try and go live with my dad before the game. I saw someone ask earlier, am I not doing a preview? I am going to do a preview, but it's going to be a live one like this where I'm going to have my dad on the video and we'll be talking about it. I'm not going to be at the game because I'm going to be stuck at work till quite late tomorrow. So, yeah, but I'll be back to watch it at home. You look well dressed, Sophie. Should Sat Woodward and hire you. I'm up for that job. I'm always here, Ed, if you need me. But, look, massive game tomorrow. We've got to focus on that rather than the transfers. But if we do not sign anyone, obviously, it's shocking. It's shocking, it really is. The situation we're in right now as a club is depressing, and I am worried about it. Hello to Megan. So for Sky Sports approach you yet about being a presenter? Sadly, no, they haven't, but I'm here and waiting. Definitely. But yeah, guys, have a lovely evening. Take care. Fingers crossed we get some more positive transfer news coming up. But right now, I'm not feeling super confident. Have a good one. If you haven't already, please do hit that sub button. Drop a like on the video as well. Cheers, guys. Appreciate the support.